You alright there? Hope you're keeping well. Sorry I've not been around much lately, but life's been mad. Very mad indeed. Won't go into any details, but hopefully things will settle down in the first 6 to 8 weeks of 2024. This is probably my last video for 2023 actually. So I'll get my Christmas greetings in early. Alright? Have a good one and a nice new year. We're in the underpass now. Don't apologise. Bit reverbery. Anyway, I thought I'd share some thoughts about the channel really. It's been a funny time. I've seen one or two other guys speak about their philosophy. That's a grand term, isn't it, for a YouTube channel? But they didn't call it that, by the way, it's just me calling it that. But yeah, I agree with a lot of what they've been saying. I think not sure I come to a crossroads as such for mine, but you get to a point where you've got to make a decision about what you want to do with things, you know, with the channel, I mean. The lesson I've learned over the last 2 or 3 years, especially since lockdown, because that's when the channel kind of took off, it grew a bit, you know. When I reached 1,000 subs in April 2020, just after lockdown started in the UK, the big lockdown. Big thing I've really sort of come to terms with is don't chase the numbers. Don't chase the subs. And I was guilty of that for a long time actually. Not out and out, you know. But I've decided really now to be very comfortable in my own skin when it comes to making videos. So I guess what I mean is, I think what I do is about 2 things really. It's about operating, having fun, you know, and about antennas and checking stuff out. Ideas. It's about operating and ideas for operating, you know. I guess that's what it's about really for me. And I suppose if I was really chasing numbers and subscribers and all that kind of thing, I guess one of the things I'd be doing is bandwagon jumping. I've done a bit of that in the past. Do you remember there's this thing about going from direct to full license in the UK? I did a video about it. And I look back at it and I think, why the hell did I do that? And there were certain trends that happened and things, and certain creators will jump onto that and then do big videos about it, you know. I'm not sure that's me really. You know, stuff like Ukraine. When that war broke out and you had videos about, suddenly military radios were a big thing, weren't they? Supposedly listening to the Russian army or air force and stuff. It didn't sit well with me, that. I didn't do any of those. I mean, to me, it's just my view, by the way. I'm not knocking anyone who did it, you know, that's their choice. You know? No one got hurt by making those videos. But to me, it's a bit like exploiting it. I don't know. Didn't say comfortable with me anyway. Oh, back in the car in the dry. Yeah, it was the Ukraine thing. I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. And then when new radios come out, remember that at Yaesu 2 and 70 that came out, that's cost about 600 quid, or an arm and a leg as we call it in the UK. And people jumped on that and they were saying either they were doing videos on it, either buying it, or, and fair enough if they want to buy it, do a video on it. But there are other people doing videos talking about it. Again, just wasn't for me, you know. And then there's the latest thing, is it the Quansheng? No, there's been some good videos showing how to use it and actually operating with it, which I think is fine, great. But then, you know, there's other videos where people just chat about it, about a 10 quid walkie-talkie, you know, which I'm sure is great for gets people on the air, gets people in the hobby. It's a useful bit of kit and people like it and great, you know. But I guess what I'm trying to say is it's making videos talking about stuff for the sake of talking about it, for the sake of getting views. I've wrestled with it for a long time. I thought, could I ever do it? And I can't do it. So some guys have channels which are there to make a living out of, and that's absolutely fine. And by the way, if you think people make lots of money out of ham radio YouTube, and consider this, you know, I've got nearly 12,000 subscribers, which on the size of it isn't the biggest channel. It's not the smallest one either. It's, I don't know, probably in around sort of, if you rank me out of 10 typical YouTube channels, I'd probably be the 6th or 7th largest, something like that. So I get about 40,000 views a month. A lot of those would be from my back catalogue. In fact, the last couple of months I've hardly put anything out because of various reasons. So about 40,000 views a month, something like that. And I get about £100 from ad revenue. Now, £100 is £100. Don't get me wrong. But if you want to make a living, I mean, how much do you need to make a living these days? How much money do you have to bring in to pay gas, rent, whatever it is, your mortgage maybe, all the other bills, council tax? I'm talking about UK here. Food, fuel, petrol, clothing for the kids, for yourself. I mean, even if you buy yourself, you've got to earn at least £1,500 a month, haven't you, to really be okay. So what's that? If we extrapolate that, then if I'm getting 100 quid for 35,000 views a month, then I've got to times up by 15 to get the sort of money that I need. So effectively, you know, I probably would need to have probably 8 to 10 times my subscribers. I need to have 100,000 subscribers to have a hope. Now, if you look across the board, in the UK, I can think of one channel that has 100,000 plus and a couple that are close. In the US, there's a few more, but not that many. And, you know, so that's just views. Of course, you've got things like super chats, which again, I don't think I can ever do. Patreon, you know, I'm not knocking any of these guys. They're doing it because they're doing it to earn a living, and good for them. And if people are prepared to pay them for it, that is absolutely fine. I guess the only issue I have is that this is a personal choice for me, not knocking anybody else. But I prefer to do videos about operating or ideas for operating rather than froth. Now, I'm calling it froth because I've got no better word that comes into my mind. Froth for me is just talking about stuff which happens to be a topic which has come fresh up in the last few days. All right. Now, I'm not knocking it because the guys who do that sort of thing are earning far more than I am. They've got far many more subscribers than I have. They're doing something right. And maybe that says a lot about social media. Maybe social media is there for the lighter things in life. That's fine. This isn't a rant. I'm realistic. You know, the thing is, if you're ever going to do something like this, if you're ever going to do any sort of YouTube channel about anything, or anything on Instagram, whatever you're going to do, at the end of the day, you'll always have half an eye cast on others who seem to be growing quicker than yourself. But then look at why, look at their content, and consider whether, not just to try and copy what they do, but actually, is it something that you are going to get enjoyment out of? Because you might do it, you might swallow the pill, or take the shilling, as we say in the UK, and do something which isn't very enjoyable for a few months. But then you'll get burnout, you won't enjoy it, and you'll stop doing it. So if you're in this for the long haul, do content that you enjoy. Do content that you think you're going to enjoy doing and that you get something out of. All right? So do it like that. That's the aim. That's the way to approach this. That is the way to go about it. That's my view. So in terms of 2024, it'll be all about operating, ideas for operating, bit of theory on stuff that I think is interesting, that I have found interesting. Trying out some antennas if I've got the time. there'll be some live streams about me operating, much in the way I am now. It's not going to be high tech. It's going to be me, my iPhone on a tripod, a crappy little Android tablet to look at the chat and get on with it. Okay, simple as. I'm not a high-tech person. I'm never going to be, nor do I have any interest in being somebody who will splash out $5,000 on lighting and microphones and computers. All right, it's just not me. I think keeping it real is the key for me, and that's how it's going to be. In terms of live streams, I'm not a huge one for roundtable discussions either. I've been on a couple. I've been on Tracy's channel, VE3TWM Outdoors on the Air. That was about a year and a half ago, I think. I've been on Mort's channel, LB0FI. I've been on James's channel, Amateur Radio UK. But I'm not always available. I tend to only go for things like that if I think it's something I'm interested in doing and if I'm available. So not much in the way there. The final thing is in terms of product placement and products. So I know a few people have discussed this on about their channels in the past. I don't get that many offers actually. So it probably says a lot about my content, doesn't it? But when I get an offer, 95% of the time I'll turn it down, because I will only want to try stuff out that I think would add value to what I do. So if it's something that will make a difference or a different approach to what I'm doing, that I genuinely would want to try out, then I'll take up the offer. Basically, I've accepted my first ever offer to try out a product, which will happen sometime around January, February time. You'll learn more about it when you see it. It's, I think, perhaps an improvement on what I've been doing with my mobile operation. I'll say no more. But I've only accepted the offer, and it's a very kind offer from the person who makes the thing that I'm going to try, because actually I can see how it would, I think, create an additional way or improve in some way what I do. If it was just another thing that I already knew about, that I think personally I wouldn't even think about buying or even using, I won't do it. And I have turned down things in the past. Okay. So there we are. There will be no Patreon. There will be no memberships. There will be no merch. It's just some bloke, usually in his motor, as I am now, with a whip on the car or with a pole up somewhere, having a bit of fun, portable and mobile, and perhaps putting some videos out about antennas and anything else that I think I found important or interesting to find out about, that you may be interested in. So there won't be a video every other day. There may be 4 or 5 that I'll be doing per month, and there'll be some live streams in there as well. So there we are. That's me. Enough of that. I thought I'd just touch base with you and tell you how things are, because I've not been on YouTube for a while, in case you're interested, which you're probably not. And I just want to wish you once again, because I know I did it earlier, happy Christmas. It's the 16th today, so we're only about a few days away, aren't we? Week and a bit away. So I hope you and your family, no matter what you're doing, have a good one. I hope even if you're not very well yourself at the moment, that your health at least allows you to enjoy this Christmas. And hopefully if you're in a position to be able to recover, that you do so quickly, and that you have enjoyment in 2024. All right then. Catch you soon. Maybe a few weeks' time. Who knows? All the best to you and yours now. Bye-bye.